Right, welcome into the part B. Oh, I haven't got the music playing yet. Media files and go. Bit of music. Right, essentially, we're just going to run back and forth in here until we find a snubble. This may take a while because it's a 1% chance of showing up. You know, I'm a fairly unlucky person. Yep, so as I noted in the last one, I had messed up. I'd missed October tick off. Well, it was only in episode 71, so it's not too far back at least. But, you know, it is. Oh, there we go, snubble. And it's female. Great. So, yeah, we had to prat around quite a bit to try and sort this out. So at the moment, I'm actually in the process of re-editing that episode. So there may be a little ping to join us. So we'll run around and try and get a second snubble. Because, yeah, it's quite essential. We get these because it's one of the rare Pokemon again. And it will save us breeding. So, wait, after 130. So, yeah, so there's a lot of editing going on for that right now. It's basically, I had to put like a white box over the numbers and rewrite the number lines. Basically, because of how the editing software is, it's literally just like a couple lines that are preset on the screen. I just update them as and when, just make a snip every time it updates. I've just copied and pasted it back in, gone through, found out where it changes each time, and then I've just put a snip in it. Then added one to where the number would normally be. So it's not too difficult to do it, it's really annoying. So you would say you might notice a light change around me at the moment because, you know, well, obviously I went for breakfast. When I came back, I started going through all the videos to find out where I'd messed up. Starting at like episode 65 or something. Booping. That's none of the videos that previous to it, well, the ones that had already gone live, weren't the mistake. Is an attractive, playful nature. Many women like to follow it because of its affectionate ways. Oh, this is the wrong box. Oh well. We're going to find another. We'll just do the same again. We're just going to run back and forth. We're one of the few people that walk away from a mill tent. Yeah, hopefully the next snubble we find should be female as well, because there's a 75% chance it'll do it. So far, we've been pretty lucky on these episodes. Want to go to Pokemon that has Thief? We could potentially get a metal coat off one of those Magnemite. There's a 5% chance they'll hold a metal coat. Oh, yes. Yes, we will. Going to. We'll walk back. The only thing I've got about being in fast mode is it really hard to party. Pokemon have got that can carry. Don't need to fly, so we'll to you. Who can learn Thief? That's a decent level. Load up a list of those feet. TM Thief. So we have to be careful with how we typed in Thief because it could bring up game Thief. There should be a list of Pokemon that can learn it. Surprisingly, I have a lot of Pokemon. I wasn't expecting this many. Let's find a decent Pokemon. Electrode. Electrode can actually learn Thief. Wait. Oh, right. Generation 4. Tick box for things. Electrode can learn Thief. 423, that's not too bad. What we want is we want a high level Pokemon. To the Gyarados. If I can, right, can Noctowl then. New generation. Noctowl can learn Thief. There we go. We always seem to end up with. Right, because in that way, if we encounter any Magnemites, we can have a chance in the Metal Coat. Be like amazing. So it's only a weak move. It's alright. So user attacks, steals the foe's hold item simultaneously. Can't steal if just holding it. So we'll get rid of it. The only problem is it's only got 10 attacks, so we can only attack 10 Magnemites. I mean, roughly, really, be 5 to the power of 5 and accumulate. 5 to the power of 10 and accumulate. 0.05 power of 10. So it's not the best of odds, but it's better than nothing. Switch. I think my Noctowl is actually stronger than my Smeargle. Back to sped up the play. We've played so far. 7 minutes. It's not too bad. I mean, we've already got one Smeargle. We've prepped ourselves to try and get Metal Ball. Oh. There we go, so. Hang on. Nothing. Get anything? You probably should have answered that phone call. Especially if it's potentially another trainer or somebody going to give me an item. Pretty sure Thief has a 100% grab rate. This is Thief has a PP of 25. It fucking doesn't. Well, I'm scared. Item that gets consumed as well, it gets taken off. Metal Coat is not a consumed item. As far as I can tell, then, yeah, it's like a. You just have to hit it once and it gives you it. Well, the best way to find out would be to steal the leak. Not mentioning. Give me another Snowball. Oh, and a Witcher. They're both, but give me one so I can make at least a little progress. Really? 6:30? somebody responding to my ad. It's not a bad price. Not a bad price. 35 quid for some work. 37. So guys, I just spelled disgust wrong. That's running in disgrace. Yes, I'm having some more pixel art done for my game. I realised after paying my artist for the last sort of sprites they made me, I'd actually got the sizes wrong. I paid for some 32 pixel and some 128, thinking that would do the small and the medium stuff. There's actually a spot where we actually have to go slightly smaller. I need some 64 pixel stuff now. So I'm now paying for them to do me some slightly smaller artwork. It's like, you know, in between. Because the 64 pixel stuff is like, it's difficult because it's so weird. I tried scaling down the 128 to the correct size, and it kind of does it, but doesn't look right. And the sprites used for the really small walking around stuff is, well, it's not as detailed. It doesn't look like what I need. Most of it's only going to be temporary anyway. Do plan once I've got the game up and running. I plan to like scale it all up. So I've mentioned before that I'll be making this game. I'm going to be giving it out to a few people who watch the streams. There we go. I've got metal coat. I think we only need 2. Or 1, should I say, because we've already got Steelix. Google this, to be honest. Metal coat. Scissor and Onyx to evolve. Yeah. Is that it? Sweet, so we've got enough metal coats then. We will need Noctowl again for the thief abilities when it comes to the King's Rock. Once again, that's another one of those items where you only get one of it. Well, I've only found one of it. You get it from Slowpoke Well. You need a second one. So on that point, we will be doing an episode of going down to the Slowpoke Well to try and steal the King's Rock. Oh, it's a male. Oh, it's a bloody male. That's actually rarer than getting a female one. We've seen it now. Yeah, so my whole plan behind it is at the moment I'm working on it on a scale of 1920 by 1080. Just because that's my desktop screen, so it allows for me, when I look at the room, to see the full room in its glory as I'm working. When I've finished the game and I've got everything how I want it to work, I'm going to go back in and re-graphic the entire thing. And I'm going to scale it up to like a 4K, maybe an 8K view. But then set the camera obviously down to the 1920 by 1080 again. That way, when I put all my sprites in it, I can make them really detailed, and when you're looking at them, it'll just look really smooth rather than pixel arty. If there's more pixels, it means the animations should be easier to make. It's kind of hard to make really small animations. But we'll get to that as and when we get to it. So right now I'm just trying to get the basics put together. So that's my pointing to her. At the moment it's going pretty good. Those who know, well, don't know what I'm doing, I'm actually programming a cafe manager game. You get to run an entire cafe, including choosing who works for you, who doesn't. The uniforms, there's only a handful at the minute, we're planning to add more. You get to choose what times the cafe's open, what time the kitchen actually opens, so that way you have the kitchen close and then have the cafe close an hour after. You're not just like kicking people out who have just got the food. You can also choose to, based on how it's been done, you can also set it up so like you can have it open in the morning, close at midday, and then reopen it again. You can, or like have it open every other hour if you wish. It's up to you when. It's all in hour blocks. It's a little bit clustered how you do it because it's a massive grid. You've got to click on different numbers and say, "Oh, I want it to be open during these times." A bit weird. Next, you get to program the entire schedule for staff. You tell them, "Oh, I want this member of staff to come in these days and during these hours," or I've got my cafe open all day this day. I want you to come in and do a half day this day, or I want these members of staff to each come in and do 2 hours because that's the minimum block size is 2 hours. You get to choose your menu, all the items that are on it. So you can choose to have cheese and ham sandwiches. You can turn that off if you don't want it. You have to discover new items. Even down to the point where you can choose what ingredients are put into each recipe. So like certain ingredients will like make it more attractive and enjoyable. Other ingredients will make it worse. A great example would be if you were to sell a cheese tomato sandwich, and all of a sudden you put a whole trout in there. Obviously, people aren't going to appreciate the trout. If you were to do a, I don't know, say, cheese salad sandwich, you put some ham in there, a lot of people, yeah, they'd appreciate that because that's still a cheese salad. You get ham in the salad. But if you get a vegetarian or a vegan come in, then they will kick off because it's an option for them. I think you get to choose like the amount of each item. So, if you wanted to, that cheese tomato sandwich, you could have 2-3 slices of tomatoes. You could have 20 slices of tomatoes. You could have 13 whole tomatoes if you really wanted to. But it's all down to you what you choose. You get to choose some decorations in there. You get to upgrade your cafe as you go, so you can have more waiting area, bigger kitchen, better restroom. I'm trying to think what else. I think that's about it, really. There's like a few games. I'm kind of like basing it on Harvest Moon, but rather, why did one out there? I'm kind of like basing its like main framework on Harvest Moon, but rather than running a farm, you're now running a cafe. So a few little events. Well, you don't really get to walk around the town so much. There is like a click option to go to the town, and you like talk to people. It'd be like one of those dating sim kind of things or trainer games. But it's more just so you can go out and buy stuff. You can all go to the docks and you can speak to the guys there and arrange for fish to come in at a certain time on a certain weekend. And you don't have your cafe. You'd have staff come in early, like 6 in the morning, to bring in the stock. The cafe opens at 8, and then the kitchen opens at 9. It's going to be good. At the moment, let's say I've got like the timing stuff down, so you can say when the kitchen's going to be open and when the cafe is going to be open. And well, I believe I've actually put on the menu for a bar, which is an upgradable feature. I've got the full hire and fire system incorporated, including character creation. So random people will give you CVs and they'll randomly take them out based on when they can get work. We've programmed in like a self-worth kind of thing where you can make the staff happy or sad based on how much you pay them. Obviously, you can try to like pay them as little as you want. If they believe they're worth 20 coins, I'm gonna put my laptop there. If they think they're worth 20 coins an hour and you're only paying them 15, you could technically hire them for 15. There is a chance. There's about 75% chance that you could hire them. Yeah, you have to roll less than what you offer. So yeah, there's a 75% chance that you could. Oh, there's the beat to say that episode's now rendered with the correct numbers on it. Why is my control stop working? Controls aren't working all of a sudden. I don't think my game likes the fact that I'm no longer accelerating. Yeah, it's going a bit weird. I might have to take my finger off the accelerator for a little bit and later. What's going on? I think it's because there's so much RAM being used by the system currently. Yeah, I'm starting to catch up. So yeah, so you could. Essentially, I'm just gonna save my fixing program. Oh, right, I didn't even render it properly, so I'm gonna have to do it again because I forgot to turn visibility on numbers. Export. Oh no, I'm just going to keep one eye for now. I'll name it when I upload it. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about getting those renderings done is important because I've majorly screwed up there. Yeah, I think my computer's using too much RAM. It's not liking the fact I'm using so much RAM. Yeah, it's not liking this. It's not liking this at all. Right, I'm going to close in the Explorer, my Firefox. I should then assign more RAM to. Still not got any controls. Does it say it's crashed? Yeah, because I can't even press file. It's really struggling right now. My entire system is really fucking lagging out. What the fuck is going on? I'm not even using half my RAM yet. I'm using 90% of my GPU though. Jesus. Graphics card will not be happy. I'm going to make a save state just in case. Daycare man, that means there's an egg ready for me to pick up. I'll do that in the main episode. It's time to lag out again. It's a GPU, it's not liking the GPU. Turn on the backwards super fan. Pull it down, it might run a bit better. I don't know if we're going to find another snubble. So yeah, so essentially we say we've got a lot done. Right now we're working on the actual game part of it. And now that we've worked out how to put this, right now we're working on scheduling. Trying to get the scheduling menu work so you can state when you want your staff members to come in, when to go home. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the pay thing. So essentially, when you try to hire a staff member, they calculate what their self-worth is, and how much they believe they should be paid, based on various things. It's based on like how high their skills are, their appearance. The charm then plays like a bit of an effect on there because you're very charismatic. They might want this extra boost. There's then some like various bits that it like calculates. Like there's like a random chance that they could be inconfident or underconfident, less money. Some might become more confident and want more money. It just adds this little randomness at the end to give you a bit of variability. So it's not like predetermined exactly what it's going to be every single time. So two people with the exact same stat line aren't going to want the same amount. They might. There's a chance they won't. And from that, then once you hire them, you get the chance to offer them, a wage. So if they believe that their value is 20, since I actually think the average is 23, and lagging out again. Possibly lagging out as I'm about to catch some more. So yeah, say they think their self-worth is worth 20, you can offer them a 15. You offer them exactly their self-value, so in this case 20, they'll just be hired. You offer them more than their self-value, so 21, then they'll be hired and they'll be slightly happier, and they'll put in like more effort and more performance for you. If you offer them less, so 15, has to roll a dice between 1 and their value, so 120, and it has to come less than what you've offered them. If you manage that, then they'll be hired on, but they won't be happy. They'll lose happiness because they believe they should be worth more. If you rolls over that number, then they won't take the job because, you know, you're insulting them, basically. So technically, every person you could actually hire for a single coin per day, just be like, well, in that case of 20, it'll be like a % chance that they'll take the job. But then they'll be extremely unhappy every single day because you're offering them 19 coins less than what they believe should be getting paid. So, you know, not so good for them. You know, there's a few staff members that like a certain wage because, you know, they've got a house to pay for or something like that. And if you're giving them if you're giving them so many hours, not getting enough pay, and they can get better pay elsewhere, they'll abandon you and they'll cause some havoc on the way out. So you need to look after your staff. But it's good. So we're working on that scheduling bit right now. It's not so much the coding. I think I can do the coding. It's the graphics I'm struggling. So I've hired somebody to give me some sprites because I'm not very good at the detail bits. I'm very just good at making like boxes and saying putting numbers in things, doing all the programming stuff. So that's my overall goal. Is I say if I do it at this scale where I can see everything on my screen at once, it makes it easy for me to see, oh, that's lined up with that, that's going there, etc., etc., etc. Then when it comes to me making the actual game, when I'm done and I'm doing the graphics, if I scale it all up to 8K, then all I've got to do is just multiply all the numbers by 8 for positioning, and then scale all the images up by 8 times the amount. Then hire some artists to make those graphics. Then when I put the game in, then all I do is say, yeah, I want the camera to occupy this screen. I want you to display it on this size screen. So then everything will be zoomed in, everything will look pretty smooth, and we'll get like all these pixels here. Well, you can't see it, so see some pixels on here. Yeah, I know you can see my cursor on this side. So there's like little pixels around here and that there, will just become like a really smooth curved line. So it'll look really nice on my graphic. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me on this episode. We're going to go back to the main episode now. We caught the two snubbles. We got a metal coat, which is great, and we have a Meowth. But I think we caught that in the main episode. I can't remember because of the whole editing thing. So it's probably going to ping again in the main episode. Both episodes get ping. Actually, it's not because it's going to take half an hour to render. Anyway, so I will see you back on the main episodes. Thank you for listening to my rant, and I'll see you all back there.